gonna take a quick run around the yard, take a look at all the loofah and the different sizes. I think this cold weather is kind of creating a problem with everything, but got quite a few. I think they're all Virginia Huskies, but looking at this one here, it's not quite as wide in the girth, but similar in length. And this one here, kind of similar, but kind of in between. And this guy here, not quite as beefy in the girth. And then we got this guy here, which looks like a full-on apple. I really should have kept better track on how I planted all this stuff, but there's like a giant apple. This one. Oh, these guys all up in here. I'm trying not to walk into a spider web here. These are the, oh, look at something chewed that one up. These are the organic whites, which I only got 2 on that whole plant this year. And they were late bloomers. They didn't come out until the very end. And then looking back here, got some long one. Let's see, and this guy here, it sure would be nice if they all developed, and I got seeds and I got sponges out of them, or at least sponges anyways. And then one more looks more like an apple back here. And of course I got all these guys hanging up here. You see, like, I can't really tell if that's just the shape that they turned into, or if they slowed down because of the weather. Oh, my Halloween one. And all of these here, yeah, see, they have more of a long look to them. Another Halloween. And in the back here, again, kind of more long. They're still wide, but in girth, but not as much as what I consider the ideal Virginia Husky anyways. And we'll go run back in the back here. Sure got a lot of winter melon coming out though. I just wish they would develop. I got a really big one in the back. You can see how the loofah's still kind of putting out some babies here. And then when we get back in here, I had a whole bunch that were on the ground. I had to string them up. Get some of them that were actually touching the ground started to rot. And you can see here we got like a whole bunch of like apple-sized ones and extra large ones. And then here, some more apple-shaped ones with a Virginia Husky shape. More back in there. And then all of these here. When they suck in like that, I kind of wonder if they're getting close to being ready, but they're awful green and just don't seem like they would be developed yet. And some more back here, kind of a small one. One's all the way up through there, over here, this one. So just this one section alone really went crazy with nice big fruits, but see, we still got babies coming out. And just not that they're going to be able to do anything because it's just too cold. Let's go look in the back. Actually, before I go back there, look at these. This was one that was laying on the ground, started rotting. Here's one I pulled from the back. It's pretty much this whole section is really not that ripe, but the bottom started to rot. This one here was kind of curled over, and I don't know what made it do that, just the way it grew, I guess. But then you got these guys here, which are more common looking, and then this one here. So right now I'm just kind of trying to drain all the liquid out, and then I'll turn around and hang them up over here. See, those are all my commons from last year. But then I got these other ones here, which I pulled out this year. A couple of common like ones, but these guys were all just too early, so I hung them up here to just kind of dry and see if I can at least get the sponge out of them. I don't know how good the seeds will be, but let's go in the very back now. Actually, one more stop here in the garage. These are all the Virginia Huskies that I harvested at the very beginning that came up. And let's see, these are all my winter melon wax gourd seeds. I don't know, I'm trying to find out if they're going to be any good or not. I did already start. Those are my grab bag of who knows what kind of loofahs. These are all my loofah seeds I've been vacuum packing and labeling. My granddaughter and I were working on that Friday. So these are all pretty much F4 seeds, but of different quality, and I rated them A, B, and C based on how good I think they are. Okay, now let's go to the back. Okay, I'll start from this side here. Got a variety of different sized ones here. And a lot of these were of the F2 variety. It's hanging down pretty low. So a lot of these were the F2s that I planted, and they came out pretty much like what I expected for a Virginia Husky to look like. But then you do have a few small ones, and that may be just because they bloom late. And then you have some more almost apple shape. So, and that again is F2. F2 here, and then you got another kind of oddball shape one. And on the other side is more, some of those I had out in the front drying or ones I picked there, but see how this one's real long. And then I got them all the way up into this pear tree everywhere. And then of course, you know, babies that have come out that aren't going to be able to develop. And there's some more big ones down in there. And here's my prize winter melon wax gourd. It's huge. Took a picture of that with my granddaughter next to it. It's practically as big as she is. And then we go over here to this side, and now everything's really thinning out. Leaves are drying up and dying off. But I pulled I pulled two that were side by side, which I brought up before. That, excuse me, one looked like a Virginia Husky, and the other one looked a little bit more common as far as the shape. And these are, again, just young and not developed as much. And this one here, which I don't know what it is, but the other ones that I picked similar to this were that light green color. Reminds me more of a smooth common loofah. And then down on this side, some more mini ones that just aren't going to develop. And then there, over here, these are more the apples that were all up in here. More apple. And all the way down to this side with this apple here. And got one down in here. It's like Easter egg hunts. Now that the leaves are starting to die off, I can find these. You know, see, there's a more common looking one. And then we get over to the trellis, and this was organic white. This is, what did I say it was? F1. So this is actually apple. And so there's a few apple in here, and you can see that one has a little bit more common look, but it doesn't look like a white to me. And then these guys here, small ones, big ones. These guys are all pretty hefty because they're busting my bamboo trellis down. I had to add an extra support in here because it took one section down. But yeah, and then just, ow, I got shocked when I touched that. They are so dry, the static electricity got to me. And then you got like these guys splitting, they're young, temperatures are changing. It's just not real conducive to growing good loofah. Yeah, a bunch of them that just formed right up on the trellis. Some more like double apple looking type ones. One down in there. This guy. These guys. Now this one I think might be the King Kong. I think both of these might be the King Kong there. Because this, let's see. Pretty sure that's the King Kong. And this one is King Kong. And this one here, I'm not sure where it came from. I think it grew all the way from the other side. I don't think it's a King Kong. And yeah, because I think these guys are all some that reached all the way down here. But down here for sure is the King Kongs. I got a real young one, another one, another one. That's the biggest of the King Kongs. Another one. A whole bunch of little baby ones, but being late bloomers, they're just not coming out at the right time of year to make it. It's a sad situation. But at any rate, that's pretty much the way it's forming up here. For the love of loofah.